Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Look, I had a thought and I wanted to share it with you before I went to bed. And while I was considering this thought, television was on. And they were saying something about Elon Musk, the guy that's co founder with Tesla, that, I don't know, some kind of vehicle. I've heard people talk about it, with associated with SpaceX and a bunch of other programs. And I heard Trump talk about him as being a genius and that you have to protect the geniuses. And I guess I can kind of see what the guy's talking about. But as far as I'm concerned, the genius that Mr. Musk represent is the same genius that the first ditch digger presented, or the first toilet maker presented. They're all blessings and gifts from our heavenly power, our source that's coming through these individuals, just like really each of us have a gift to present to the world. Chances are most of us never know what they were because we've been handicapped. But I mentioned this thing about about Musk because they reference that he, in a short period of time, he has amassed over $200 billion. And that means something to the people who set up this system, designed the system to work just like it's doing, to work in their favor against you. And over time have taught this to be a normal situation where we expect and accept the fact that they have designed a program that in a little while this guy can amass over $200 billion. And we got kids over here can't go to school. I mean, in this system is designed so kids can't go to school, they can't have health care, the parents can't have help while somebody over there is doing something. They're making billions of dollars, and this is a system that's designed to work for we the people. Kind of sounds like it doesn't for me. And since I'm on the subject matter, maybe somebody might want to say, how do I feel about the rich? How do I feel about the wealthy individuals? It reminded me once I went to NPR television station, and I wanted to be interviewed over the news. And they talked to me, and I guess they assumed that I wanted to be one of those who redistribute the wealth. And so, they didn't want to talk about that. They didn't want to have any kind of that stuff going over the airwaves. But let me tell you how I feel about that. Billionaires, multi-billionaires, they got a lifestyle that they love. And I'm for them living that lifestyle. In fact, I'm for people who have never lived their lifestyle that they want to live, but only in dreams. I'm for them living their lifestyle as well. And as far as I can see, they have just as much right to do that as billionaires. The fact that billionaires profit from a system that was designed to profit some and abuse others, that's what it's done. But not only do I see that, I offer something different. Not that I'm trying to take anything from the billionaires. Just want to make sure that the little heirs or little nothings get the same treatment in this life. You see, I see this life a little bit different than you. I see this life as being designed by another power. I see this life, even here in America, being designed by a power we can't see. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you call the founding fathers. I understand that. I understand what they've done, and I understand what this whole thing represents. It's a Ponzi scheme. Yes, it's something just like a Ponzi scheme. I say Ponzi scheme because people kind of know what that means. And every nation, wherever it is just like a Ponzi scheme. Just like a Ponzi scheme. Now, we know how Ponzi schemes work. Sometimes they're exposed, and sometimes they I want to expose something so much better than this. And back to what I really wanted to talk to you about. I just want to throw that in. But what I was thinking about was white people who have profited from the history of the movement of the Americas, or the United States of America, more specific. The children, sure, they didn't have nothing to do with it, but they have benefited from everything just like their ancestors benefited from the slaves themselves. The children and the descendants of those who are living today have just as much benefit as those who are owning slaves and beating them. We have just that much benefit. My proposal to this is this. I recognize that you had nothing to do with that, and I also acknowledge what I just said. You benefited from it. But I also look at you as being a victim. I look at you as just born into this. And it is what it is because that's where you were born, and you have to admit that. The same as we have to admit what Trump was born into. I mean, he was born into it. It was a heck of a situation. I know most of you are glad you didn't have to be raised like that, because you sure didn't want to come out like Trump. But anyway, that's the way he's raised. And I said that to say this. Black people, we were raised to be slaves. We were victims. We were stupid. Our ancestors brought us here. And we have been a slave, the same kind of slave that they were, we still are today. It's just a different situation, but slave, no different. So I look at it like this, and I see those who have benefited from slavery, and I see those who suffered from slavery. Both of them, you and I, victims. And being angry at one another is not going to fix anything. We see how people try to benefit from that by keeping us so divided. Yeah, want to make sure we keep a lot of hate going on, make sure we keep a lot of malice and talking about killing and all that kind of stuff going on. But look like we should be wiser than that. Since we both see our shortcomings and we were victims, so there's only one way to repair this thing. We agree today that we are victims, and we apologize to one another and end it now, which basically means as today and beginning henceforth, there is no difference as far as the treatment of people in this life. There's no difference in any form or fashion. What I basically mean is this: we change our system. See, the system that we live in promotes what we're just getting out of. We create a different system, a system where every individual is free, not depending upon the authority of another individual, only depending upon the authority of the power that guides us, that leads us, that has given us our gifts, that has allowed us to contribute in this social experience of God's love or the truth being exemplified in the human experience. So my thing of it is, I'm not seeing any benefit. Oh, I get angry. I don't want you to think that when I look at white people sometimes it doesn't frustrate me. Yeah, it does. I think about how certain things. But the truth of the matter is, it takes a lot for white people to stand up and say, ooh, we blew that, and I'm for fixing it. It takes a lot for a black person to say, damn, we blew that. I don't believe it, but we blew that. Well, that's over. That's over. That's not happening again. And we face each other face to face and say, hey, bro, you ready to live? Let's go and live. All that dissension and stuff is gone. So think about that. Think about forgiving one another. Forgive the slave master and forgive the slaves. Everybody just forgive one another because you're a victim. You're a victim. You're a victim. And since you're a victim, don't try to punish anybody. You're both victims. Forgive each other. Now, I know that might sound crazy to a lot of people, but I'm thinking about peace and prosperity and freedom and joy, fulfillment of dreams, needs, wants, and desires met. And I know it cannot be met thinking any other way. And so, since I know it like this, I want to speak it like this. It might help somebody. Well, let me see if there's anything else. Nope. Thank you so very much.